the Honorable President for the Republic of Cuba, the Central Committee for the Communist Party of Cuba, the Organizing Committee for the Communist Party of Cuba, other committees and organizations within the Communist Party of Cuba, the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration, of which I am the General Secretary, bring greetings to the Communist Party of Cuba at the 8th Congress of your party. Comrades, this is a very important period, but we must also reflect on the past. And let me say that the Communist Party of Cuba were responsible for our African liberation in Africa. The Cuban government and the Cuban people supported the African people, so they were able to fight that liberation struggle and free many of our southern nations within Africa. Comrades, Cuba have extended its arms to many of the poor people of the world. Cuba have created an educational program for many years that have benefited many poor people in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, in North America, in Latin America, and in the Caribbean. Cuba have also extended its arms to help many poor nations who needed medical assistance. Cuba today is extending its arms to save many lives during this COVID-19 period. Right here in Barbados, we have over 100 medical workers from the Republic of Cuba. These workers are helping us to save many lives in Barbados. These workers are making a contribution to the Barbadian society. The Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration is very happy to see that Cuba can come to Barbados with its medical doctors and help us to save many lives in Barbados. Comrades, the Communist Party of Cuba must play a major role within our hemisphere. Many progressive parties in our region have a lot of respect for the Communist Party of Cuba. I remember the days when the Communist Party of Cuba brought together civil society, political parties, trade unions, the youth, women organizations, so that we can discuss the debt crisis situation in the 1980s. I remember that. Comrades, the Communist Party is the organization that helped us to move our people forward in our region. And we want to ask the Communist Party of Cuba to bring all of us together so that we can examine what is happening in today's world and how it's affecting our hemisphere. Comrades, I am looking on and I am looking for strong resolutions coming out of this Communist Party Congress. Resolutions that can mobilize our people for changes. Resolutions that can help us to defend our region, our resources, our people. Resolutions that can create respect for our region, Cuba and its Communist Party are our leaders, and we are depending on you. Comrades, we also want to say to the Communist Party of Cuba that the Caribbean movement for peace and integration want to strengthen our working relationship with the Communist Party of Cuba. We want to develop strong bilateral relationships between the Caribbean movement for peace and integration and the Communist Party for Cuba. We want to make sure that we can work together to develop our hemisphere, to develop our people, and to create the conditions for the poor and powerless people in our region. So, on behalf of the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration, I want to congratulate you on the holding of the 8th Congress for the Communist Party of Cuba. But at the same time, I also want to say to you that we are depending on you. We are depending on you. So, long live the Communist Party of Cuba. Long live the Cuban Revolution. Long live the relationship between the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration and the Communist Party of Cuba. Forward ever, backward never. Thank you, comrades and friends, and I wish you all the best during your Congress. Thank you.